Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about fall eyeshadow palettes. I did one of these videos last year as like my favorite fall palettes for 2020 and I wanted to update that so I could do like a 2021 version because I feel like a lot of really good palettes came out in the last year or things that I've just gotten more acquainted with and really like more. So today I'm going to give some recommendations as far as color schemes, exact palettes, all that good jazz that definitely fits the fall vibe. And hopefully you already have some decent collection because like they're kind of classics. None of this is like super new except for like one. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. As always guys, I'll do a quick shout out to my shop, theopencrypt.com. I have a whole bunch of new stuff out like my dark love earrings. I've restocked my crescent moon silver earrings and everything else like candles and wax melts. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link down below. It's all handmade by me and I put a lot of work into it. So if you check it out, I'd appreciate it. And now let's get started with the first little section. I'm going to do them by brand. So let's start off with Colourpop. So I picked two palettes from Colourpop for today's video and they're both on the new-ish end. They're not like brand new, they didn't just come out, but they did come out recently this year within the last couple months. So the first one I've been like kind of obsessed with and that's kind of why it's in this video, but you know, it still fits the fall vibe, so I'm keeping on brand here. But this is the Lust for Dusk palette. This was kind of like under the radar when it first came out. It wasn't like, you know, in everybody's face, and this released at Ulta the same time released at Colourpop, so it wasn't like a Colourpop exclusive then eventually moved to Ulta. No, this came out at the same time. So the Lust for Dusk palette is very pretty. It has palm trees on it and stuff. It looks like, well, it's like dust, but it reminds me of palm trees. But the inside is a good mix of color and neutrals, which is kind of the fall vibe, because you can have colors and have fall. It doesn't have to be all browns, you know? But here is the palette up close. As you can tell, there's some orange in here. We have a little bit of yellow and we have silvers and grays, which makes a good mix for me. The only thing that doesn't scream fall to me is like the pinky shades in here, but the rest of them really do like combine well together to make an effortless look that can say fall without being really deep and really dark, because that's not always what you want to do. Like today, this is like a fall look for me, but it's not super intensely dark. So same kind of deal with the Lust for Dusk, because you have usable colors and sometimes you want that little bit of orange to it. I know I do. I love orange eyeshadows. Next up, this one came out around the same time as that one, but this is the other Colourpop palette that I picked for today's video, and it's the Your Golden palette. Now this one does say more summery vibes overall, just because there is a pop of blue. There's like 3 shades of blue in here. But for me, I look at the burnt oranges and I look at the little bit of gold. I definitely think gold is a great fall color that's underutilized. People just think like burnt oranges and browns and grays when you think fall. I think pops of gold are absolutely necessary for like a good pop, so you don't look like you're like too dull all the time, you know? But this palette to me could be an all year palette, but for fall vibes, you ignore the couple shades of blue in here. It looks beautiful and it's a good date night palette. I think this is great for like a little bit of pop, so you look a little glamorous, like a little bit of gold in there, you look glamorous for like a good fall date night. I think it's a really good choice. I love this palette so much. I just wish these were slightly smaller so they could sit in my Alex drawer standing up and I wouldn't have to like lay them down. So the next two palettes I'm going to talk about, these are the only ones from this brand, so both of these are single one-off brand things. So a classic that I'm just going to go ahead and speed through because I talked about it for like the last year and a half all the time. It's the Tartelette and Bloom palette. This is a great all year palette, but the deeper shades in this palette, my voice cracked. The deeper shades in this palette are so easy to use for every day. So you could take your everyday look and make it a little more of a fall vibe by just darkening up with any of these 3 shades in the outer corner. Like I did today, I just made the outer corner a little deeper. You can do the same thing with this palette. Do your everyday look that you're comfortable, especially for like a work day look. You're just looking like your regular eyeshadow moment. This is a great palette for that. And then you can deepen up the outer corner and make it into a fall look without adding any extra palettes or extra products to your collection. I just think this is a great staple and I love the way Tarte eyeshadows smell, because they smell like vanilla, but not like a nasty vanilla way. They just smell sweet. I don't know how to describe it besides just sweet and good. If you know what a Tarte eyeshadow palette smells like, you know what it smells like. I can't talk today apparently. Now a dupe palette, because you know high-end palettes are very fall vibes, but I can't afford the high-end palettes, so I like the dupe palettes myself. There was 2 that came to mind from Alter Ego. Of course Goddess, which is like the greeny golds and the dark colors, and it's my favorite. But one of their newer ones I really love for a simple everyday fall look is Shadow Kiss. It's the eyeshadow I have on my eyes today, which again is an everyday kind of fall vibe without being overwhelming. So Shadow Kiss is a dupe for Natasha Denona's Glam palette, which is like her cool tone palette, and I do have a code with them. It's code porcelain, and you can use my link if you want to save money off of it. It's already affordable because it's a dupe, but this will take even more money off of it. I do get a kickback from it, but you know, no pressure. This is the palette, okay? Look, you're looking at it, you're like, oh, she's boring, she's simple. Yeah, which means you can use it all the time. That's my favorite thing about it. I love cool tones, first of all, because I just feel like they look so sultry and classic. I feel like warm tones are beautiful too. Like I said, I love burnt oranges, but sometimes it's a little bit too much to see warm all the time, especially because I love a darker lip. So a light, cool toned eye just works so perfectly with it. And again, affordable, you know, with the cool tones, really easy to use. The quality is fantastic. It is a dupe for Natasha Denona, but I like this formula more than Natasha Denona. Sometimes Natasha Denona's formulas are on the creamier end, which sounds luxurious and fun, right? But when you're just using your regular eyeshadow brushes, sometimes that crap is hard to work with, you know? So I'd rather just use a regular powder. And these are fantastic. So I love these. The quality's great. And like they have a heavy magnetic closure, which is one of my favorite things about them, because they work for the price tag, and you know I'm here for a deal. Now we talked about affordable stuff. Let's go on to the more high-end stuff, but not like overly Natasha Denona prices, you know, and sometimes these go on sale. So I have two from Melt Cosmetics that I wanted to talk about. The first one is Rust. Now, because you think fall, you think those burnt deep colors and like the fall leaves and the pumpkins and stuff. This is definitely what Rust gives me, and Melt Cosmetics is a hit or a miss when it comes to quality. Sometimes they're fantastic and beautiful like this one, and then sometimes you get the 420 palette, which looks like the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen in your life, but the quality is not there. So this is the Rust palette. I love the yellow in here with this mustard. This mustard is my favorite shade in the palette. I just love it. If you put a little bit higher up in your crease and then move down to the darker colors closer to the outer corner, it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful transition shade. The shimmers in here are beautiful as well. I do think there could be like a lighter shimmer in here because this is the lightest shimmer, but honestly, it's effortless. These colors blend out together so pretty. I love the burnt reds in here, and of course we have this light creamy shade, so if you do go a little heavy-handed because these are very pigmented, you can go in with a shade on a clean brush and kind of buffer it out, and like, it's easy to use, and I love it. And I love the fact that this darker shade isn't a black. Like, it's a deeper chocolatey brown. It's not a black. So you think, like, oh, you know, oh, you're going to stick a black and ruin your entire eye look. No, you can just deepen it up with a little bit of darker brown. It works perfectly. The other beautiful fall palette that works perfectly from Melt Cosmetics is Gemini. I wish I was saying it was 420 because, again, that color scheme is like chef's kiss gorgeous. But it's not the best quality. Gemini holds up as far as quality, and it's a classic. It's one of their original palettes. So here is the eyeshadow palette. Again, you have orangey shades, you have a little bit of a peachy too, and then you have the greens and a black. So if you do want the staple black, you do want to go there. You have this in this palette, where this other one was a brown, and the greens are beautiful, and they're a little bit more on like the grungier side, which works perfectly for fall without doing orange or black or silver. So I love this one. I think it's a classic, and quality's there, y'all. It's so pretty. Only thing I'll critique is that this peachy shade is the shimmer in this lighter side, and sometimes I don't want peachy on my lid when I'm doing like a neutrally kind of orangey yellowy look. Like, I wish it was a little bit more towards these tones with the shimmer, not the pink, but it's beautiful overall and the quality's fantastic. Alright, so last two palettes I want to talk about today are both from Sigma. Again, I am a Sigma affiliate. I'll leave my link and my like discount code on the screen for you or down below. But these two are really good, and sometimes they have really good deals. Like, I signed up for their email list so I know when the sales are on, and I get a little bit more of a discount too for being an affiliate. So like, when they have a deal, I'm all over it, and they have sales all the time lately. So the first one is the newer of the two. This one is Ambiance. Now again, just like You're Golden from Colourpop, you might think this is not a fall palette, but for me, like, browns and oranges and golds are beautiful for fall, and this one has the golds and the orange in it and the brown. So we have a deeper shade which isn't too impactful. If you're going for that sultry, dark, sexy fall look, maybe not this one, but this one's sexy without being dark. So I love this one because I love the shades over here, like these browns, are a little bit more on the mustardy end. They're not like super cool and they're not like super warm. They have a kind of like a tang to them that's like if you understand what I'm saying here. Like, they have a good hue to them. I love the oranges and the golds, and the fact that a lot of the shades are similar makes it really easy for like a pretty like impactful date night look, especially for fall. If you're going to like a movie date, so you have like a first date at like a nice dinner or like late at night, I think it's the perfect palette for it. It's beautiful, and you're fitting the theme of fall without being like, oh my god, here's a bright pink or a bright blue summer look. Now this last palette is from Sigma again, like I said, and this one has more of the color to it. So Gemini has greens in it, the Your Golden has a whole bunch of stuff in it, but this one has like a grungy vibe to it, which I really like, and this is the Sigma Untamed palette. Now it does have fur, like fake fur, like a velvet I guess on the front of this where you see the stripes, which if you have cats, you're gonna get cat hair in your palette. But here's the inside of it. I love the fact that these colors are not like summer, they have a grunginess to them, and you can still have colorful looks with being fun. Like, I love the reds and the greens and the yellows in here. So here is the palette. I just think it's beautiful. Like, you could use the pinks and the blue for a summer look, honestly, but if you ignore the pink and the blue, even the pink, because they're kind of on the dustier side, you can still use the pink. I just think everything about this screams beautiful, colorful, fun, edgy, but still on fall branding, because if you look at the greens and stuff and the oranges, they're not like super bright and colorful. Even the blue has like a little bit of a tameness to it. It's not like neon in your face. I love the fact that this pink is gray-ish, and then like the sultry like golden tones and like really easy to use. And of course they have the black too if you want to deepen up anything and make it like super sexy. So I love this one. I think it's more of like a colorful option for if you're not just looking for browns and yellows and neutrals. It's a good one. It's a really good one. Anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your favorite fall palette down below. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to like know what I'm missing, because I don't have like that many palettes in my collection since I downsized, and like I love the fall ones, and I want to do ones that were still available, because I have a lot like the Alien from Jeffree Star that are beautiful fall vibes, but they're limited edition. I just want to talk about things that are readily available right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my shop, theopencrypt.com, down below if you need anything spooky or fun or fall vibes, because I have tons of candles and wax melts. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day wherever you are.